Tuesday, March 9th. It's a little bit after 11:30. I'm in between two classes. Well, I'm on a break. My homeroom class has had their first session and now we're getting ready, or we're on a break before our second session. This morning, worked out, took a Peloton class with Allie Love. The cleaning lady came today, so those mornings are always a little bit hectic, just trying to stay out of her way. While she was cleaning, I got the rest of that one study sync assignment graded, so I'm done with that in both classes. Now I have another one for Boy in the Striped Pajamas that I'm gonna start probably tomorrow. And then I had Hawk Academy with my homeroom group, and then I have my homeroom class. And in the first session, they just took their iReady test. So it's iReady testing season again. And so they started that this morning, and then they're gonna come back for a second session at 12:05. And during that session, we're gonna actually do some history. So I told them the iReady window is open all the way until the middle of April. So we're just gonna take our time and take little bits of time, or take the test in little chunks along the way. And so today, we're going to actually get to look at the piece of art I've been referring to as we start talking about Manifest Destiny, the one that is titled American Progress. And last night, as I was getting everything ready, like, my fear with this is like, I'm gonna show them this piece of art and say, okay guys, like, tell me, what do you notice, what do you see? And I'm just gonna get a look of like, I don't see anything, because it's an old piece of art. It's not like modern. I don't necessarily expect it to be something that they're like enthralled by when they see it. So I was trying to figure out, like, what can I do to like engage them in the process that I want them to go through. And so I was looking for videos that kind of talk about like going to an art museum, and I found some, but they were geared for like really small kids, and or they talked about how to behave in an art museum, which is not really what I was looking for. And then finally I found a video from, I think it's PBIS, that is titled How to Sound Like, let me get the actual title. How to Sound Like You Understand Art. So it's about a 13-minute video that is really for like adults or older people, and just kind of gives, I think, a total of like 10 tips to take to heart when you go to an art museum or look at a piece of art, some of which don't really apply or are like past my students' head because it's talking about like art history terms and stuff like that. But then other things were really good that I thought would be useful. So the video itself is 13 minutes. I think I'm going to show them the whole video. I'm getting ready to look at it one more time to see if there's like a logical stopping point. But she's pretty funny, and it's kind of like a relaxing thing to allow them to do since they just spent a class period doing iReady testing. So I'm going to show them that. And then I created a Jamboard. I think there were two because one had some typos in it. I think this is the correct one. I created a Jamboard that looks like this. So I just found an image of an art museum or art gallery and made that the background image. And from the video, there were 4 points that I thought were like applicable to what we're gonna do. So the first point was to take some time to really look at the art before judging it. Keep your initial thoughts, it should say thoughts to yourself for a moment. Then the second tip was to really look at the art, take it all in, give yourself at least 2 whole minutes. First look at all the details, then look at it as a whole. So I think I'm gonna put them in breakout rooms, or I'm gonna have them look at it for 2 minutes and then maybe put them in breakout rooms. I haven't fully decided about that yet. And then one point that I thought was interesting was like just giving yourself credit for your ability to look at an image and really like analyze it, dissect it, take it apart. And so it was saying treat it like an Instagram post. Like, you know, we look at Instagram posts and we're like, okay, this is staged, this was not staged, this is sponsored content, this is not sponsored content, this has a filter, it doesn't have a filter. Like, treat it like that as you just think about what's going on in the piece that you're looking at. And then the last one was remember, your interpretation of the art is yours and not everyone else's. Enjoy hearing everyone else's thoughts and opinions about the art, meaning that there's no one correct interpretation of a piece of art. It is whatever it is for you, and it may be different for someone else. So I'm gonna have them look at the piece of art for 2 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer in the main session for 2 minutes, and during those 2 minutes, I'm gonna ask them to be thinking about this, like, what details do you see? What do you like? What don't you like? What do you notice? What do you think it means? And hopefully after reviewing all these things, giving them some time to look and think about those 5 things. By the time we actually get to the portrait itself, we have something to talk about. Okay, so hopefully that will kind of lead them to what I need them to kind of recognize or see in this portrait, and it won't be as painful as it very potentially could be. And then for the fun of it, I thought I would show them, you know, a real life example of someone being at an art museum and really having to just appreciate it for what it was. So this was an image that I took when I went to an art museum when I took my trip to Finland a couple of summers ago. Like, honestly, I saw this and I was like, what is this? Like, I'm not sure what you're gonna hear because my memory card ran out of space, so I had to make space. So like, this is just me at an art museum a couple summers ago when I was in Finland, and this was one of those pieces of art where I was not really sure like what to think, but I appreciated it because it was art. So I'm going to show them that, and also show them that it's possible to become a part of the art. So I think, oh, now it says it's unavailable. Let me see if I can play it through here. This is like my Insta story from that same day, and there was a piece of art in the museum where it was like performance art. And so you would go into a room and you put on a headphone and you did whatever the headphones told you to do. Just so they can see, like, I've gone to art museums, I've had moments where I too am like, I know this is art, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at yet, but I still appreciate it, like just the experience of it. So that's my plan. That's what I'm gonna do in my homeroom class, and as I've said many times before, my homeroom class is the much more subdued group. So if it goes over well with them, then the prospects of it going over well with my switch class is great. We won't do this in my switch class today because I only have them for the 1 class period. So we will only be doing iReady testing, but they'll be on track for this tomorrow. So that is my plan. And then later on today, I have a union meeting that should be interesting. We're making progress in California. I think LA County is like scheduled to get out of the purple tier, which is the most restrictive environment, to the red tier, which means like indoor seating for restaurants could open at, you know, a certain capacity. Gyms could open, like a little bit of a semblance of normal life can come back. 6th graders at my middle school, I don't know if I've said this yet, are scheduled to go back at the end of March, I think March 29th. The numbers in my county are consistently coming down, and if that keeps up, then we might be going back like somewhere in mid-April, I think is the rumor. So it'll be interesting to hear if we get any updates at this union meeting. But again, you just don't know until like it's actually happening. I'm just taking it one day at a time. I am not allowing it to stress me out. My partner was a little stressed yesterday because she's like, what's it gonna look like? What are we gonna do? And I said, this is one of those times where you just have to be in denial. All I know is I'm teaching from home right now, and until that changes officially, I don't think about anything else but teaching from home, because really, what's the point? So, but that's what's going on so far. I am going to watch this video again to see if there's a cutoff point that I might want to use. And then by the time I finish that, it's going to be time for my homeroom class to come back. So that's what's up. That went really well. I'm so proud of my kids. Now, of course, not everybody participated, but that's just the way that it is with Zoom and in-person teaching. But everything that I wanted them to notice, they noticed, almost to the point where I was like, did they Google this somewhere? And again, even if they did, they ultimately learned what I wanted them to learn. So they picked up on everything. They seemed to really enjoy it, the students that were participating. And I definitely think having them get a piece of paper, giving them some guiding like things to look for, and setting a timer for 2 minutes and just saying, just look at it. Just look at it and jot down anything that you notice really did help. I did end up putting them in the breakout room. So I gave them the 2 minutes in the main session with the questions projected to kind of help them know what kind of notes they could be taking. And then before I open up the breakout room, I just reminded them that we all have 2 eyes and we all can see. and we all live in a country where you are free to express what you like, what you don't like. So everyone should have something to contribute when they get in the room, even if it's as minimal as, I noticed there's green trees in the picture or in the portrait. So I went into a couple breakout rooms. By the time I got in there, a lot of them said they had finished discussing, which I believe because they were able to tell me what they discussed. And then some of them were discussing in chat, which at this point it's just like, fine, discuss in chat. So it went well, and that's my homeroom class. That's the shy crew, the quiet bunch. So I'm optimistic as far as what it's gonna look like with my switch class. So I'm on break until 1:20. I have 25 minutes. I'm going to check my email. I could eat lunch right now, but I don't want to because I'm gonna be rushed. So I'm gonna check my emails and work on some grading, but no, I'm not. I'm pretty much caught up with grading with the exception of that one study sync assignment, but I just don't feel like starting that. So I'm gonna find something else to do.
Well, when it comes to vaccines, everybody that wanted a vaccine was able to get a vaccine at this point. They were able to get anybody with that survey that said they wanted one, they were given an opportunity to get a vaccine. Most of the people that wanted their vaccines are on their second doses. They're working on their second doses over the next 2 weeks. So we should be fully vaccinated for those that want to be within the next 2 weeks.
Alrighty, it's 5:30. My union meeting ended about an hour ago. It was much quicker than what I thought it was gonna be, which is always a good thing. Just basic information, but like she just confirmed, she doesn't have any like definitive answer from the district. She's just going off of like what's going on in surrounding communities and just using a little bit of logic. Like I said, there's a very high possibility that we will be heading back at the 7th and 8th grade level either early to mid-April unless things drastically change. So if that's the case, I'm just going to enjoy again the perks of working from home for the time being. I don't know what that's going to mean for my classes because it sounds like my classes can and will be shifted to some degree. I may be losing some students, gaining some students, so I will worry about all of that when that time comes. And then the other good news, I don't know if I'll be able to take advantage of it though, but the Orange Theory that I go to is going to open back up March 15th. However, the schedule that they have posted, they've only posted 1 week's worth of schedules, just doesn't really work for me. So I'm gonna wait to see what other schedules look like. Right now, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is to downgrade my membership from unlimited, where I can go as many times as I want during the course of a month, to like 8 until I get some sense of like what a regular schedule is going to be, and to see if I can take classes with the trainers that I prefer. But still, that's good news. And I heard on the news that Disneyland is going to open at the end of next month, I think, but with like 20% capacity. So little things are coming back. If the next thing that would make me excited is the nail salon that I was going to before with Megan, when they open back up, that will be great. The place I go to now, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the one that I was going to before. If I asked her to, she could have, I'm not flipping anybody off, but she could have like done that by hand. I could literally give her any design that I saw and she could recreate it, and like it always lasted, and it was just like a little indulgence that I did that I loved. So I'm gonna end the vlog right now, but I'm feeling really proud of myself because I have literally, with the exception of something I need to do right now, gotten everything done. I got everything checked off my checklist. I have a couple of videos that I need to kind of put together that I just need to script out on my phone, but that's a very passive thing that I can do on the couch. I got the study sync assignments graded. I got those updated, and I'm very like current on my grades right now, which is miraculous for me. So it's only 5:30. I just need to edit this last little clip that I'm taking right now, and I will be done editing the vlog, and it's almost, I don't have to cook dinner because I have leftovers, and it's almost as if I don't even know what to do with myself with all this time on my hands. So, but I'm going to enjoy it. So that was the day today. I'm looking forward to doing the history lesson with my switch class tomorrow. I don't know if we'll actually get to the art portion because I think that they were behind on the lesson itself, so we'll see. But if you enjoyed today's vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you are not following me on Instagram, go over there and follow me. And as always, I hope that you are well, and if you are not well, please be well, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See you then.